Hello fellow drawers, how's it going? My name is Valerie, I am a self-taught digital artist, and today we're taking a second look into the world of art tips that I found on Pinterest because I don't have TikTok, but they are probably actually all from TikTok. Want to see something cool? Here. And okay, let's get started. So the first one I found was this one, and I wanted to try it because I think I will need this a lot. Okay, let's watch it first. So the reason I wanted to try this is because I saw many people in the comments asking me to draw this character. This is Sea Fairy Cookie from Cookie Run, and as you can see, her hair is water, made of is water. And I was hesitant to draw her because I feared I wouldn't be able to pull this off, but maybe with this tutorial I will. Okay, so step 1, block out your blobs. Let's take this kind of bluish turquoise color, something like this, and make some blobs. Okay, there we go. Step 2, color pick BG. What is BG? BG. Color pick BG. Oh, background. Oh, I'm so stupid. Jesus. Okay. So color pick background and blob inside. Well, we don't have a background, but let's imagine we have this color for the background. Okay, blob inside. Is this right? Okay. Step 3, add some more saturated colors. Reflect surroundings. Well, we don't have any surroundings right now, so I will just choose this kind of purplish color. So far, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, the smudge tool did not help. But let's continue. I also see them adding more black inside, so let's do that as well. Like here, right? Okay. Step 3. Wait, step 3 again? This should be step 4. Add white highlights facing the light source. Cool. Let's do that. Okay, outline blobs for contrast with background and add more detail if needed. Okay, I'm so disappointed in myself. Do I need to outline it because I don't have a background? Let's do just this instead. I am a failure. Oh my god, this is so bad. Why am I so bad at this? This is horrible. What did I do wrong? Well, everything apparently. Oh my god. I render on one layer, yeah, sure. Step 3, another step 3. This is the third step in this video. Add black close to white highlights to make them pop. I don't know if there's like anything that can help the situation at this point. No, it's not really looking good at all. It don't. I mean, if you really zoom out and make it super small, possibly it could look like a water no. You know what? No. Guess no Sea Fairy Cookie for you. I'm sorry. Do you want Sea Fairy Cookie to look like that? I doubt it. Does that look like sea to you? It doesn't. But I would still rate this tutorial pretty high. I think it's a good tutorial. I just think I'm a piece of shit. I just think I'm stupid. I don't know how water works. But the tutorial is great. I would give it a like 8.5 out of 10. Hope that sounds good. Let's move on. Okay, let's watch our next video. How I learned to paint faces better in less than a week. Okay. Yeah, I'd say this is a 10 out of 10 because this is just based. Any art tip telling you to study from reference and simply practice more is great advice that you should definitely follow. And here are just a bunch of websites that can help you with that. I especially love the first one. The Arrowhead is so great and it can improve your understanding of face structure so much and help you learn the planes and the shapes of the face, because when you're looking at a naturally smooth human face, it can be really confusing and it's very easy to make a lot of mistakes and for parts of the face to get misplaced. But with a Arrowhead, you can clearly see all the edges, planes, and angles and how it all connects to each other on our face. And it starts to make way more sense and becomes easier to draw. Okay, now let's watch this one, tips on drawing the body. Now I am planning on making a separate video on drawing bodies and basic anatomy, but I will try to concisely comment on these tips here and explain why I agree or disagree. So let's watch and dissect it one step at a time. First, start off with ovals, tilt one to one side and the other to the opposite side, draw an oval for the upper torso and a horizontal oval for the hips and pelvis. Now, here's the thing, I don't personally prefer to use ovals because there ends up to be too much empty space between them and therefore too much room for mistakes. The shapes I use are these two identical tooth shapes. The same front tooth shape which I use to draw hands, which I talked about in my hand tutorial video. The top shape is the ribs with the shoulders and the bottom shape is from the waist to the pelvis. And these two tooth shapes touch in the middle, therefore don't leave this empty space. And for me, it's easier to draw like that. The tip about tilting the shoulder line and the hip line in different directions is great advice. That will make the pose more dynamic and more natural looking because we rarely stand up straight. We usually prefer leaning or shifting our body weight to one side or another. 2. Your body isn't always facing straight. Play around with the direction that each shape is facing to create a more natural pose. Yes, absolutely. We are not cardboard cutouts that are always facing front. We are 3D, our bodies can twist and turn. But even if you want to draw a person facing straight front, is always going to be a bad idea to use a symmetry tool for that because that will always look weird and stiff because neither our bodies nor our faces are totally symmetrical. There is always asymmetry there, and this slight asymmetry in your character's face and body is what will make your character look alive and not like a creepy mannequin. Once you're comfortable, connect the two shapes with a curved line. It looks a bit awkward if you draw the body with only straight lines. Yes and no. I would say if you're just practicing and sketching, then it could be even beneficial to try drawing the body with only straight lines, like drawing the face with a sour head, not making it smooth and instead identifying all those angles and planes with straight lines. Because often when beginner artists are trying to draw a body from reference, they start focusing on those little bumps and curves on the body when they should be thinking about the overall structure first. So you can connect these two shapes with straight lines, and I think that would be fine. You can smooth it out later. After that, try practicing with cubes. It helps you practice perspective within the body and be more comfortable with 3D shapes. I mean, yeah, totally. Drawing 3D shapes from different angles can really help you improve your understanding of perspective and help you with drawing and foreshortening the body. Now try manipulating the cubes because having only straight line can make the body appear stiff. Yeah, for sure. You can also try using like sacks or pillows, imagining the body as a sack or a pillow that for some reason has less stuffing in the center, so probably not great for sleeping, but great for drawing bodies. For dynamic natural poses, try drawing contrapposto poses. The hips and shoulders should contrast in the direction of each other. This is because the figure is focusing their weight onto one foot. Yeah, I think we kind of... wasn't that in the very first point of this video? Yeah, it was. Anyways, a good tip has the right to be repeated twice. An easy way to practice is by doing timed figure drawing called crocus. Because you're being timed, you're forced to focus on simplifying the reference instead of the details. I recommend everyone to try this. Yes, timed figure drawings are great because, as I said, people often start to draw out those small details instead of focusing on a bigger picture and the overall silhouette. And this will not give you the time to add those details and will force you to try and capture the movement and the flow of the pose. Overall, these are great, awesome tips, 10 out of 10. I agree with all of them, and I also shared with you some other ways that you can approach those things. So yeah, great advice. Let's watch this one. This seems like a quick eye tutorial. Yeah, start with the top lash line. Then you kind of mirror the top lash line vertically and horizontally, and that's your bottom lash line. Yeah, and the lashes also kind of follow the direction of the lash line. They do not just stick out vertically. Yeah, this is kind of how I draw eyes too. The top lash line should always be thicker, darker, more prominent than the bottom lash line because we have more lashes on our top lash line than our bottom lash line. Well, unless your character is emo and wears a ton of eyeliner. And also, You may not connect these lines in the inner corner of the eye, but what I will say is I think you should at least try connecting those lines in your head and imagining what that would look like. Because see here, the bottom lash line is curved, and that can happen if the character is squinting or smiling. But if I were to continue this curve as it goes, it would make the inner corner of an eye really kind of droop down for some reason. And that does not really occur ever. So don't let this curve go downwards. Make it go straight so it connects with the top lash line evenly. But I would say 7 out of 10 for this one. If you want to draw a stylized eye, this is overall a good tutorial. Okay, hair tutorial.
Hair tutorial is what is just riddled us. What is this? Pick where you want the light source. Color the hair lighter when it's closer to the light source. Color lines to match colors. Make transitions and other colors more prominent. Make a new layer to add more strands across darker areas.
Okay, this is crazy. I felt like I was about to start drooling. That's insane! I've never seen anything like this in my life. Oh god. What's actually shocking is it doesn't look bad at all. That's a cool style. But as a tutorial, these drawings in the beginning, they look... Is this real? Because the face looks as if it was just pasted in. Because the face rendering style is completely different from everything else, even other areas with skin. Like, see here, this leg is also drawn with like this scribbly style, but the face is absolutely smooth and clean, but everything around it is just a bunch of scribbles, even the clothes and the hands. I'm not saying anything, I don't know, I've never seen this artist before, I'm just asking, maybe that's just how they do things. I don't have TikTok, so I won't go and look for their account, but if you have some info about this, tell me in the comments. I genuinely just want to know. Yeah, I would not rate this very high as a tutorial, because I think telling a beginner artist who hasn't yet figured out how hair works at all to just make a bunch of scribbles is not really gonna help them. I assume it might even make things worse, actually. But in terms of lighting and shading advice, I think it can be good. I mean, they only say to choose the placement of the light source and not really anything else, but you can tell that they are good at shading hair. You can see how the pink hair changes from the light peach color to purple and even gray and blue as it gets more into shadow. So 5 out of 10. Like, it's somewhere in the middle because it doesn't explain much, but also doesn't give any bad advice in my opinion. So okay, our last one. Common anatomy mistakes and how to fix them. Wait, what is big boobs? What does that mean? Weird. Okay, let's watch
There's some
this.
simple anatomy mistakes that might be making your artwork look more awkward. This is one I see very often. If you put a lot of detail into the front of the musculature, make sure to include as much, if not more, detail into the back.
I just realized I've never drawn back muscles ever. Not even once. And in my opinion, I think the back of the torso is way sexier than the front. It's backs over abs for me.
The muscles on the back are often more defined and even more anatomically important than those on the front, so ignoring them or drawing them as inverted front muscles is going to make your drawing look pretty awkward. Make sure to study backs. On
Wait.
a related note, remember that the
Inverted front muscles? What does he mean by that? Are there people who draw abs and titties on the back of the character? What do you mean inverted front muscles? Okay, next.
On a related note, remember that the torso does not intersect the body on a straight line. The back of the legs begin much higher than the front of the legs do, and there's sort of an almost curve to it like this. Another very common issue is people draw the shoes very disproportionately to the...
This is breaking my brain. The phrasing is confusing to me for some reason. The back of the legs and the front of the legs, that's not the back of the legs, it's like the lower back and then the glutes, which I don't know if it should be combined with legs. I'm not saying that this person is giving bad advice. It just sometimes I think the way we look and think about certain things can make perfect sense to us, but to another person it doesn't make sense at all. Sometimes you have this clear vision, yeah, like this works like this, this is this, it makes perfect sense. But for a different person, they might wrap their head around the same thing in a completely different way. And I think that is what's happening here. So I don't know how to comment on this. Let's see what else we have.
Another very common issue is people draw the shoes very disproportionately to the rest of the body. They should be around the same length as the forearm.
Okay, wait, we have to fact check this. Let me go get my dirty, muddy little shoes. I got it. There are literal huge holes in these shoes. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, it kind of is the length of my forearm. Huh, let's continue.
Forearm. The reason you might think of them as small is because typically you're seeing people from above, where foreshortening shrinks the size of objects at the bottom. However, if you're drawing a character from the front, where foreshortening is negligible, you need to always make sure that the shoes are proportional to the rest of the body. Here's some simple anatomy.
No. No, this is happening again. I'm confused again. What do you mean you typically see people from above? What are you? How tall are you? When do you see people from above? I mean, I guess when you're standing like face to face with someone and you look down at their shoes, maybe that's what they mean. Whoa, okay. I have not been this confused in a while. And it's not even in a bad way. I just don't know how to even rate this. It's just trippy. The whole video, it's like, you know how most people make the mistake of drawing front torso muscles on the character's back? Wait, what? No, who does that? And you know how the front of the leg is always lower than the back of the leg? What are you talking about? Horses? And you know how we normally see all people from above? No! What do you mean? Why are you trying to convince me that this is how it is and has always been? This is not true at all. Are we living in the same reality? Am I tripping? Are you real? Am I real? I will pretend this never happened and I never saw this video. And you haven't either. What video? Okay, well this was fun, and the majority of these tips were actually surprisingly good and helpful. I didn't even have much to critique. If you enjoyed this video, then press like, subscribe. I have other fun, silly videos like this on my channel and some tutorials as well, so you can go watch those if you want. And good night, good day, goodbye. You have been sleeping. You were sleeping the entire video. Cool. Oh my god. Like the video.